How do you go from we're fine to it's over? Well, couples don't do that, not really. It doesn't happen overnight. It just feels like it for the person who's been left behind. There's almost always a lag. The partner who leaves has usually been sitting with their dissatisfaction for a fairly long period of time, and the research says around 2 years. It's not always unhappy with you, but more unhappiness with how life might feel. So they're unhappy with the routine, they're unhappy with themselves. Perhaps there's decades together that can be really predictable and repetitive and get quite flat. And in relationships, we do get really comfortable in the nice until nice isn't nice anymore. So when people hit midlife, there are additional things. We question a lot. Who am I? Is this it? Is this all that I get? And we're seeing more and more people over 50 have breakups, probably than ever before. People are hitting a wall and deciding they want something more than what they've got: more fun, more spark, more feelings. Not necessarily better, but different. Maybe raising kids was an issue, or paying the mortgage, or building a future together, and you just got worn down by it. So maybe they felt like they were doing the right thing for years, and now they're like, okay, it's payoff time. I want to get what I want now. And they realize that the relationship isn't going to be exciting anymore. It's not going to give them what they're looking for in the new and shiny. So realistically, long-term relationships can't feel exciting all the time. Long-term relationships settle, and that's really normal. But some people interpret that as feeling dead inside, that it's, they're not connected, they don't feel happy. In relationships, we can get complacent, and complacency is a killer in relationships, not because we're necessarily complacent, but because things get steady, things get predictable, things get boring. And so we kind of get into a bit of a day-to-day grind with it. We stop talking to each other. We stop trying. We start withdrawing from each other. Maybe they one day woke up and go, I'm going to get a hobby, or they started staying at work later, or they spent more time in their own head. And during that time, they were starting to make decisions. To them, they felt like they were trying. To you, it looked like nothing was happening and your relationship was okay. So after 2 years of all that stuff going on and all of that internal debate happening inside of them, they hit a point where they say, forget it. I want the rest of my life to be different to this. And so one day they wake up and say, hey, I'm leaving. And it might hit you out of the blue. You might be like, what the heck just happened? Like, where did that come from? I thought we were okay. But because you didn't have the 2-year warning that they were going through internally. Women say to me, oh, we went on holiday. We had the best weekend ever. We've been so happy together the last couple of months. They were talking about slowing down together and what they were going to do in the next chapter. So for them to come to you and announce that the end is here, is devastating for you and feels like it's come from nowhere. And for them, it's part of a really long private process they have been going through. They're already 2 years ahead of you emotionally. They're already at that point of starting over and letting go of the relationship and being ready to move on, while you're at this stage of entering into loss. To you, it's a massive shock, and you're like, I didn't know what's happening here. You have 2 years of catch up to do. So that's why it feels like your whole world has collapsed in that single sentence. They've been rehearsing this for years, and this is all brand new for you. I am doing regular Your Question, My Take, which is what this video is, here on my YouTube channel. If you have a question for me, pop it in the comments. I will see if I can answer it on one of my videos. These are just real questions that women have asked me over the years, and I hope to answer them and give you some insight. If your partner has left after a long-term relationship, then head over to my Heartbreak to Healing series. I'll make sure I put the link in the description of this and down in the comments, and I'll also put a couple of those videos up here for you to take a look at if you need some guidance during this heartbreaking healing kind of time. Take the best care of yourself, and I will see you soon.